Hello, everyone. Sorry if it's noisy upstairs. There's a couple boys up there doing their daily wrestles and stuff. Not sure. I think it's older boy. And because I didn't hear any pitter pat, so I get a kick out of it. It doesn't bother me. The nice thing is, I think it actually helped me in a sense to have kind of noisy neighbors. It didn't bother me at all. I know that they watch my channel as well. So anywho, so it's a little noisy around here. I think he said he had four boys, and they're in and out, they're so it's funny. I get a kick out of he's sounding older, pitter pat, so I get a laugh out of it, and every once in a while, it does get a little, out of hand, like it's 9 o'clock, we're, two old, roommates downstairs. As you can tell, I love kids, so I don't mind it. Anywho, how is everybody doing? I know this is like spur of the moment. Hop on here, see if anybody's, busy, and kind of go from there. I gotta go to the hair place. I need a haircut. It's getting so long that I don't know what to do with it. I think I'm probably gonna chop off maybe 2 inches. And kind of go from there, but I don't know what to do with it. I think it's just too long. I'm not used to, it being this long, and just not sure what to do with it, but that is okay. Maybe in the next couple weeks, I'll get my kind of annual, semi-annual haircut, and maybe just do a box this round, and then getting your hair cut is expensive. That's for sure. Oh, so what have I done this week? Still coughing a little bit. A lot better. It's just kind of this dry, still lingering, cough, but it is getting better. It's like deep down in the lungs, dry cough, but it's getting there. It is getting there. Let's see here. Transportation is still a butt. I looked at housing, and it is back up to like 67. It was like down to 65, 64, and then it creeped back up. So that's gonna take forever. And I'm sure, I'll get it and be like, what do I do with this? So, learning curve. And then transportation, just, and I'm talking about transportation through insurance. The nice thing is now they provide, like, if you need to go to the housing authority, food pantry, they added groceries. I tried that. Luckily, the company that I prefer I kind of got the sense that they were kind of slow that day. So I was like, this is a perfect time to do this and be with the company that I prefer. And so I called the broker, which the broker company through the insurance is pain in the butt. So they made it happen. So thank goodness for that. This preferred company, I don't know. I don't know. They're a great company. So I think if I won $1 million, I would, surprise them with, like money to upgrade their cars or something, because they're a good company, good, Christian company. So the broker company, they need work. They need another company to take over this company. And I'm not saying get rid of employees. I'm saying, customer care service. Yeah. And it's funny because some of them work from home, and you get off the phone and you're like, yeah, you're an employee, but you work at home. You can make, those adjustments. And, make that, customer happier. And especially they need to do a haul on ADA compliance. I think, they need to understand that, having a disability and it should not feel like I want to say second hand or, second thought, process, so I usually go grocery shopping before all this happened, Sunday after church, back in the day, or whenever I woke up. And so they offer the service, but I know I clicked on Lyft as an option. They do offer Lyft as a second option, and they called me and they're like, well, we have no vendors, we have to cancel. I know I clicked that Lyft as an option if you're not able to find vendors, and it's just grocery shopping or whatever, get refills on prescriptions. So I was like, you don't do that, you talk to the customer or the patient, or you don't make those decisions, without like confirming, because I could have missed that message and be like, where is my ride, and then get frustrated. I don't know. It's stupid. But it's better than nothing, is what I always say. It's better than nothing. So I was able to grocery shop. And I know that you guys are out there like, why this, why that? Blah, blah, blah. You're making it too much work, but I need to figure out how to be independent, and not rely on, be codependent on, family or friends or whatever support, and have options so that I can be, independent and, okay, I can do this. Oh, that doesn't work. No biggie, and it's getting there. It's just this insurance company that drives me crazy. They just need to do I honestly, if I could drive, I would be like, I'm gonna just take over this company. If I had the money and the investment and the people, I'd take over this company. But then, I would have the same issues, customer service, because once you add more and more and more and more people, and the communication, I think, just kind of sucks. So, speaking of which, I'm back to my hot chocolate with, spiked with coffee regimen, because as you can see, my face is breaking out. So, and I think that's because of eggs. I was like eating eggs every other day, and then all of a sudden I was eating eggs every day for breakfast or whatever time. Breakfast is good anytime. So I do notice a difference between cage-free, brown eggs and then white eggs with, that are laced with hormones, I think, mass produce. So I know it in my gut. I know it makes me break out. Yeah, I do lace it with, cheese and, other veggies or whatever, but I think it was the eggs. I don't know. And it could be the spray. I need to get a different spray. So, yeah. I look like a hot mess. Oh, how is everybody's summer? There's nobody here. And I asked that question. Huh? It's just funny. Knowing my family pops in and out on here. Love you guys. So, and then I got my cookies. And mustache. Got my piss off. I like these because it's like telling piss off. I don't know why I like those. I think it's because there's like less ingredients and it's just, good morning snack with a coffee, and got those on the airlines once upon a time. And so, anywho, I'm making strides. Did I tell you guys that I have taken my bed apart for a little while? I'm putting my bed on the floor because being a medical massage therapist, knowing how the body works, lunging, getting out of the bed, is the best, to reactivate all your muscles. Yeah. So I've been having issues on my other side, my other hip. I don't know if it's going to the chiropractor, and now everything is aligned, and it's been like a long stupid 2 years, and my body's always been misaligned for years, but I'm going on a consistent basis. I'm going on a weekly basis to get adjusted, and so I'm getting realigned, and now my right side is not so used to being aligned, so it's like kind of achy and sore. I want to pop and all that, but I can't seem to. I think we're helping with all those issues. So got that situated. So yeah, it's hard getting off the floor. It is definitely hard to get off the floor, especially 40, almost 41. But it's also good for you. And yeah, I guess when I got rid of the box springs because it was used and dirty and gross, and I was figuring out that I was having spider issues. They like to hide in your box springs, especially if there's holes and wear and tear. So I figured that out, and then yeah, then I was finding that I was like putting my leg off the bed. So that was also shortening my muscles. So that's contributing to this issue as well. So yep. Where is everybody today? Anybody? Well, I'm waiting on my family member to send me ink for my printer to print the label. Still have the painting of Shizzy. Good old Shizzy. Yeah, you're old. And looking forward to sending that to him. And like I said, you can put it, display it for a little bit, and then, you have another area for fan mail or whatever. And if you ever find yourself, no room for, that painting, please send it back, so we can find another home, or, whatever works. And I did deliver my rat DJ painting yesterday, so that is like my all-time favorite part, is delivering. And I think it's because getting there and walking and like and I'm not saying I was actually naked without clothes. I'm saying I did it without using my walker. I'm trying to go without my walker for a while and retrain my brain that you are going to be okay. Yeah, it might be temporary. It might cause a flare, or I just in general might flare and need my walker again. I don't know. I don't know what. There is parts of me that get kind of scared because I might trip. I might, like this location that I delivered, it was kind of hilly, it was accessible, but I had to walk up, not stairs, but kind of, and there were some spots where you can feel, I think it also makes you hyper, vigilance is the word that I'm looking for. I think that's the word that I'm looking for. Altered, careful, sensitive to, the ground, and because you don't want to fall. And two, I did not have my walker, because if I did fall or have an episode, oh shit, so I'm dealing with that. I just, it's a learning thing, because when I was a medical massage therapist, it still got me when my PT kind of indicated that I was using my walker as a crutch. Like, I was codependent on it. So that's probably why I'm like doing this adventure of like, I'm gonna try to go naked without my walker, just to see, and please, 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 1,000, a million times, please, do not tell somebody that has a disability. One, don't tell them that they're using their mobility device as a crutch. Two, don't tell them that, oh, you're just walking just fine without it. Don't tell somebody that. That's, I think, listening to other people that, they really, 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 really need mobility device, like wheelchair, quadriplegic or whatever. Are you going to tell somebody that's a quadriplegic that? No. Yeah, I'm is it an ambulatory user? So that means that I'm going to have days where I'm going to need that. I'm having a rough patch with, seizures or, panic attacks, and they're just causing too much, drop attacks, and I need the walker to prevent myself from falling. I use it, I know how to use it to prevent myself from walking. And then, like, yesterday, I was more curious, and I know where I was going, but I was going to a new place, curious, see how I do. I wasn't like walking, long distance. I do need something long distance. I do feel like, because after some time, I'm going to get tired and plop out, So don't please don't tell somebody, that you're using it as a crutch. And I would never, ever in my line of work, say something drastic like that, I think. I would kind of coax you to see if there's some, psychological stuff to, like, for me, burn your, curiosity of, okay, maybe I don't need it as much now, but I would never, drives me crazy. I also think, this also makes me a better practitioner for medical massage therapy, or provider, or whatever term you want to use. Medical massage technician, because I've overcome, physical disability, very complex, issue. So hopefully in the next year or two, I can maybe find a job, knock on wood, because that has been discouraging, because I've asked, I am going to need help with transportation. And then maybe by then I won't need the walker, but I'm going to have to store it at my workplace just in case, and have a protocol, my own protocol. And I'd rather find an employee or an employer that is going to be like, oh, she's good, she's fine, she doesn't need to go to the ER. Obviously, if I hit my head or if it prolongs, for too long, and I can't get it to stop, so that way, and then, we just need to get her, rollator, walker. The other thing is I want the zine rollator walker thing, because one, if I have to do physical stuff and I still have the fatigue, it will prevent me from having chronic fatigue, because then I can sit. It's got kind of the saddle sit. I can still walk around, using my feet, still do the thing. So And if I ever had an episode, it's got kind of a harness on it. I want to cough. Hang on. There we go. Where is everybody? Everybody busy. Everybody probably napping. Except upstairs. Here we go. We're wrestling. It's all good. All good. Hello, who is in the studio? Hello. Please chat. Let me know who's here. Oh, they're gone. It's probably family member. They pop in and out. I don't think that honestly works. Because I think if you, I don't know. I don't think it works on your phone. Because when you close the app, then I don't think it counts. Anyways, what was I saying? So then also, if I am painting and I want to find places where I can paint murals or partial murals, I kind of want to rely on the rollator so then I can kind of conserve my energy too. And like, I really wish last year I had a job interview at a hotel, and I thought it would be a great start, because in their package, if it snows really, really bad and they close the roads. And he also kind of indicated, well, if you have transportation issues, we could kind of, you could stay here if you needed, and I told him, it would be like last resort, so, and I wouldn't take advantage of it, and misuse it, because, and then, but it didn't go very well too, because I got the sense that I had a walker, and he was like asking me questions. Can you stand on a ladder and, fix a light bulb if needed? And I was like, I was still having, balance issues, and then like I still have issues going down the stairs, like, height issues. So, unfortunately, my family member who wants me to paint, walls and stuff, I don't know. I want to do something paint-wise, help rehab houses. I want to get into the real estate, so it's just like everybody will say, it's a slow process. Take your time, but 2 fucking years is too long, and it's getting quite annoying, you know. I want to socialize. I want to get out. So, so in the next couple weeks, I am going to start socializing, start bringing back the old school, going to like business oriented clubs, not dance clubs, but just try to get out. And I'm gonna probably be taking the bus more often, going to, you know, these networking groups in the next couple weeks. So trying to do that and taking the bus, little bus, for that. And hopefully I really gotta get 2 more paintings, because I want 3 paintings that I can show off. That are kind of associated with these groups. And that's been kind of difficult, because then I'm like, I've been trying to do paintings that are gonna make money, and then like this, you can only visit twice in a year as a guest, and I'm sure they're gonna be like, really, you've been doing this 10 years? And then then you can do like substituting. Of course, that's gonna require, hey, if you want me to substitute, you know, at least pay for me to Uber and Lyft me there. Because I think once upon a time, if you subbed for somebody, they were supposed to accommodate you in some fashion, if I'm not mistaken. But so anywho, and then try to meet up with some of these, you know, for breakfast. And but this group, their fees are just crazy. And I will say, when I did finally join the group, the cult, yeah, it does actually work, until you leave. And then they want nothing to do with you if you are no longer a member. So that's hard. But it did work. It did work for the massage aspect. I'm a little worried about doing it for the art aspect. So, and there's going to be probably a conflict, because I can do website design, I can do social media, but if there's somebody already in the group, you know, that does social media and, marketing and stuff, then I have to strictly stay with the art aspect, staging, murals, art pieces, and I kind of want to be like, hey, you can rent this art piece, really cheap. And then I just every so often go around to some of these places and interchange them. But then at the same time, I'm still figuring out, hey, Yvonne, yay, PT, how was it? As I was saying, interchange them, but then I'm trying to figure out how to ensure if the company that is renting it out, if they need to insure it, or if I need to insure it. So that's a difficult question. So if there's anybody that deals with insurance out there, let me know. I mean, yeah, I don't know. That's a hard decision. But and then I just, every 3-4 months go and interchange them, or every year or whatever. I don't know. Just remember, artists that are alive, they need to make money. The artists that are dead, they don't need to make money anymore. They don't need to pay rent. They need, so but shop small. Shop small. Shop local artists. So I'm gonna show you Shizzy one more time. Isn't that cool? He's gonna love it. And then I'm gonna have him decorate the helmet, with the stars. So hopefully he can take at least one of his favorite guitars down for temporarily, and hang it up for a little bit. Or find a different spot for his guitar. And then, every once in a while you can interchange it. Have fun. How was PT, Yvonne? Kicked your butt? I hope they kicked your butt. I wish I could get more PT. I think it really, really, really is silly that I can go 52 times a year for chiropractic, but I can only get 12. But at the same time, I understand the whole logic and math, and as a provider, medical massage therapist, who, once upon a time, tried to do the insurance thing, which I will never bill insurance for the sake of my brain and sanity and for my patients. The quality, I'd rather be able to, I see this problem. let's work on this, because that might help this problem, and then not do 12 visits, same shit. Can you email me and let me know what, don't do it on here, but email me your insurance. I'm curious who you have, and plus I haven't heard from you in a little bit, so would love to hear from you in an email. So anywho, I don't know what I'm gonna do next for art. I got 3 new canvases ready, prepped, with gridding. I think I want a vote. Should I do... I have this idea of doing Vice Vice Baby, a combination of Vice Vice Baby and his dad. So I want to do that. I don't think I'm going to get much of a response with Megan and Tug, just because, they're doing their own thing, and I know Megan would love it, but they're too popular, and that's fine. I think it's smart to do Vice Vice Baby, a combination of him and his dad. So I've got that kind of in my head, and then it'd be kind of cool to do... I have actually that option, and then with Vice Vice Baby doing kind of a comic with, his dad, comic strip. So I've got that kind of going on in my head, and then Squid, I've got something kind of going on there. And then who else? We could do like a Legal Vices, with Mr. Pancake. So I could kind of do a comic strip with that. Then who else? Captain Kern, we could do something like that. I haven't watched him in a hot minute, for a while. The goats, we could do those. I kind of want to do the goats with Valhalla live. Yeah, he's done, painting of goats and stuff. So thank you, Yvonne. What else? I definitely need to do Squid, because she kind of helped me get started. So pretty much everybody. I think it was Jeff, Legal Vices, that really got me started, like common sense. He passed away, and I was like, you know what? Life is too short. Life is too precious, and he would be like, go for it, get your ass going. And then maybe for Flash fan, maybe do kind of a comic strip for him. I kind of want to lean into the comic stuff and have fun with that. I kind of also have to work on my book, which is a never-ending process. I need to work on the writing and illustration. So, doing on all that. I don't know if this book will ever get published. It'll be just like this never-ending diary book. I'm gonna have to get another. I like these laundry baskets because I did get kind of the longer laundry basket, but now I find that all my crap that I'm like, do I need it? Do I, need that? So I need to get a couple other laundry baskets. But then I switched my paintings into the taller laundry baskets because I found it was easier, with the walker and carry my paintings when I had a little painting booth gig. So have that, but it's getting rather full of paintings that I need to deliver and get them in a home, because if you have paintings that are sitting, they're considered abandoned paintings. So I need to get those to a home ASAP. So then I don't know. And then I've got I need to do a painting of butterfly. I kind of want to do an abstract with that. Kind of, I don't know. It's hard decisions. And I'm so glad that I, got back into art. That was the crazy. That's probably a different story, but maybe for another day. Gosh, I've been on here for an hour. Hey, family member who is lurking, I know it's you. Coming in and out. Get back to work. Oh, it's funny. Get your ass back to work. I know I'm your favorite person. Just say it. Just don't deny it. Oh. Don't deny it. Because the other one, my other family members drive you insane. Right? Yeah, I'm your favorite. Anywho. What else is there in my brain? Maybe I need to start pre-recording as much as I don't want to. Like I made this whole schedule. I need to like write out stuff. It's a process, but I don't know. Don't know. Decisions. But it's so much work doing pre-recording because because it gets to the point where if I have my hands a certain way and yeah, FND, Yvonne, FND is very complex. And I think it's so individualized because you might have seizures, non-epileptic seizures. You might have both. You might have pain with it. And your pain level could vary. And I would say use the McGill scale because CRPS is on there versus, and people don't understand the McGill or have very limited, even in healthcare, have knowledge in the McGill because we get the basic 1 through 10 pain scale. So, I know it sucks, that nobody understands, but your daughter, a lot of people are not like highly sensitive people like me. I consider myself highly sensitive. I can instantly feel your pain. I kind of know you're kind of stressing out, Yeah, so she's gonna really understand, with her rheumatoid arthritis, the pain and discomfort and all that. So, so be glad that, you have her by your side and, you can talk to her about pretty much anything. And so just, be thankful for that you're not isolating and, it's a day-to-day thing anymore these days, and then like I was saying earlier, that I'm ambulatory, meaning that I don't need to use my wheelchair inside the house. I don't need. There might be days where we flare. Hang on. Sorry about that. We might be walking fine, but we still need to use the walker because it messes with you. Psychologically, where you feel like you're gonna fall. Another tip, and I need to change my chair to my rolling chair. I'm a little cautious about this rolling chair, and I really wish I did not get rid of my massage table, my Comfort Craft massage table, because it came with a really low saddle seat. And I tried getting it back when I was working again in massage after the pandemic. And I missed that saddle seat because it would be perfect for this, and I could roll around and still do my thing. I think that's why I want the zine rollator, because, it's kind of the same aspect of this. So, yeah. I miss that table, and I want it back. I tried getting it back, but because that table was pretty awesome. It was the best one that because I could lower you and, to the lowest setting, and really work the shoulder, and could do range of motion and check for, I can detect muscle tears and bursitis and um, all sorts of tissue issues. And I miss doing massage. And two, I want to get back into it probably next year. I was listening to somebody, and they said that you need to project out to your, not only your support, your people, but your intuition and, not to sound weird, your spirit guides and I don't know. I don't know about that, all that stuff. I hate projecting that because then everybody, especially these 2 years, I think I've shut down on spirituality aspect, religion, because I was too afraid to say anything because then psychiatry has done damage to me. And I used to believe in that, to some degree. And being hypersensitive person. Yeah. Psychiatry has done damage to me. Psychological damage to my spirituality, my religion, not cool. Been kind of scared to say anything, because then the doctor that pushed the button did telehealth. Yeah. Maybe I need to do, dear doctor, you're a freaking ass. You did all this damage. And watching more tapering videos, that's helping me. Psychiatry is, misguiding people. Psychiatry, I understand that, there might be hereditary, alcoholism, you might have that addictive gene. We need to stop compartmentalizing shit in healthcare. Quit splitting, like I said, neurology now thinks that non-epileptic seizures are not included in neurology. They think it's psychiatry, but then psychiatry is here, feeding into more issues with addiction. They don't feed into I honestly think a lot of addiction issues are food related. Like you're starving, Yeah. That's another topic for another day. Maybe my people that I watch, that do, maybe I need to do another video with some therapy, Jen and Dr. Tara Lynn, on that subject. And then psychiatry is not communicating with neurology, and they're still subscribing seizure medication for psychiatric, but then I'm finding that, psychiatric, testing, they don't do it for longer than, a year or 3 months or 6 months. And then this is also feeding me into a rabbit hole of history on psychiatric, and we're still doing the same shit. Centuries. Testing, kind of lab ratting, people. Yeah, we'll go in that rabbit hole. You're welcome. And then I honestly think a lot of my F&D is them trying to cover up their mistake, giving me a rare disorder. But healthcare honestly thinks it's a woman thing, hysteria, and has changed from conversion disorder to F&D. I honestly think this is because they put me on Topamax. I was on ziprasidone and doxepine, which before ziprasidone and doxepine, I was on Vraylar. Fell very similar to when I was on many moons ago. I was on Effexor. I tried that because other family members tried Effexor. It worked for them. But I was finding myself having drop seizures, or these drop attacks. Nothing on the floor for me to trip on. I would just plop. I'd be like, what in the world? So I don't know what they took me off of that. And then I want to say they put me on either Lexapro or it's been so long ago. Lexapro started making my jaw like clench, like grinding my teeth. I couldn't eat. And then now I have, TMJ issues because of that. I still, many years later, still have issues. Yeah, I have a small mouth and, small features, but that could contribute to, TMJ issues. And stress can do that too, anxiety. But that's when I was like, now I got jaw issues because of that. And but like I said, I also noticed a difference. I don't feel as blunt. It the and then two, I think these are also protracted withdrawal issues. So there's a possibility that the hospital here, we don't know what's going on with you. I think at first they said it was conversion disorder, which has changed to F&D back in 2013 to cover the comorbidities but yeah, I see. I'm on a really, really low dose of trilipitol for my non-epileptic seizures, and I still feel like trilipitol gives me anxiety. Still gives me the or the non-epileptic psychogenic seizure anxiety issues, psychosis. And I really need to stay with, whatever, and then taper off of it, slowly before I switch to, or be on a very, 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 very low dose before I try something else, because I don't want issues. Thank goodness for the genetic testing. There are only 3 medications, and luckily they put trilipitol, all the seizure meds for the psychiatry. So there's only 2 of them. Blue. There's only 2 of them that I can take, which is Lamictal and then trilipitol. And I'm finding other issues. And then there's another medication, and then the rest of these other medications that are okay for me to take are some that I've never heard. Now I know them. I've heard of them, but I just, yeah, I don't know. I'd be more scared of the side effects of rage with Keppra. I don't know. Two, I also had a friend who's on Keppra, and I don't know what happened, but she must have forgotten to take some or missed a dose of Keppra, and then she has recently had seizures lately, either missed or kind of took maybe too much. So if Hero, the medication dispensary, wants to collab with me, maybe I need to reach out to them, and because that helps if you take. I think you can dispense about 9 different medications, or if you take a lot of medications, and you can plop, a bottle, and it gives you reminders and all sorts of, it was really handy once upon a time. Maybe I need to go and figure out how I can collab with them. But eventually, so if you do take a lot of medications and multiple medications a day, Hero Dispensary is a great thing to use. Yeah, you do need an app. Yeah, you do need Wi-Fi. You can also, have somebody help you, remind you to take your medication. And it's safely locked. The only downside I would say was it could have another option of like a camera if you have somebody that has dementia, but not as bad dementia and memory issues. That way, if you are out of town and they can stay home independently, that way you can see them taking their medication, or it could record you, or record the person with dementia accidentally taking or trying to take their medication when they're not supposed to. So and these people that had dementia that I cared for, there were a couple times where they almost overdosed because we didn't have this dispensary thing, and we were doing the old school box thing. So having seizures and dementia combination is kind of scary in the sense. So anywho, yep. What else? Have you tried other medications besides Keppra? You can email me if you don't feel comfortable You don't have to display, comment, personal stuff. You can always privately message me if I give you questions. Your privacy is, important. So, anywho, what do I want to do art-wise? I'm out of glue gun. Now I regret not getting the 3D printer. And I'm hoping I can convince the person that's going to do the 3D stuff if I can buy a 3D printer officially. I was going to get one from him because they were switching out new, old equipment. So, but now I do want a 3D printer, but I was having trouble figuring out how to get it home with a walker, and I just was having mobility issues and relying on, transportation, and so maybe I will get a 3D printer, maybe, do projects for you guys out there, and just have fun, geek out on that stuff. And then I follow another YouTuber who has FND, totally spacing name. I think her name is Eva. She does a lot of cosplay type stuff. She kind of runs her channel. It seems like she's running her channel just like mine. Like, I'll probably show you how far I've come. Where I was in the rehab hospital. I think I've shown you me having a seizure. And that was because trauma, and the person kept coming in, and my brain was associating that with all the trauma, and that was like year and a half, 2 years ago when I first moved in here. And so I did get AI to come up with a picture of what they did when I was discharged from the psychiatric hospital. So nothing like being forced to ambulate when half your body is disconnected. And even that, now that I was slowly weaning off of, tapering off of Cymbalta. And I've said this before. That I've been highly sensitive. I have the results from the genetic testing that I'm highly sensitive to Cymbalta. I should have been off of it a long time ago. Shouldn't have ever been on it to begin with. But I didn't want to have the severe, and like I said, I think a lot of these are protracted withdrawal symptoms from these stupid psychiatric medications and seizure medications. And just, we're gonna pluck this off of you, not really taper off of it, cause, all sorts of issues. It's, yeah, that's for sure. I just simply say I am highly sensitive or anaphylactic to many medications. I have a genetic testing, and just kind of go with that. And I read the box warnings on medications before I even start them now. So another thing that you guys can do is if you ever had any interaction to medications, especially psychiatric, or if you are dealing with protracted withdrawal issues, please report them to the FDA. You can go in as a consumer and say, dear whoever concerns, I had, been taking this X, Y, and Z. I experience, blunt. This has resulted in, F and D, which I think is protracted withdrawal symptoms, whatever you think is best, the more information you give, about the medication, the amount that you were taking, what you experience, and then make it apparent that you are hypersensitive to medication, but then also you want psychiatric medication to, before anybody takes it, that genetic testing should be performed before taking this. And I also want to see, psychiatric make changes, not only changing the protocol, like, okay, this person, regardless, presents no and is hypersensitive to medication, and at least the initial consultation should be at least 20 minutes. They go through your physical, their mental, lifestyle, everything, They test your balance. They, this is all important because after what all I've gone through, this shit that I experienced 2 years ago should never have ever happen. I could still be doing massage therapy. I shouldn't have ever had to close down my practice. I shouldn't have ever lost my apartment. The apartment that I was in was probably about $250 less than where I am right now. Then they had a gym. They had a pool. So I could have, okay, let's rehab. I would have been doing one bus to my therapist versus 2 buses up there, 2 buses back. No, actually 3. 3 buses up, 3 buses back. Spending 15 minutes versus an hour and a half to get there. Would have been able to take, I only take 1 bus to like Walmart. And it would have been a lot shorter, and anyways, I think that I wouldn't have had many hospital visits. The trauma, it's getting better, but I shouldn't have ever had to face that. And yeah. Whereas and then 2, I had 3 roommates who could all drive. So they could have, let's go do something. They could have helped, heck, I could have probably sold my car to one of them, I wouldn't have lost my car. I wouldn't have had to sell my car. I could have been like, hey, drive it around the parking lot, or, go with them. And that both of us drove the car around just, enough to keep it operational. Or I could have, if I did end up in the hospital, hey, can you move my car, or bring it home or whatever. It was so dumb that was kind of dumb that, I got transferred 3 hours away because, like, family members could have come and, not there, obviously, not there, but, I wouldn't. But if I was local, my family members would have, hey, come and check, make sure everything was okay, and, shit. This shouldn't have ever happened. And the nice thing is, I've lowered and lowered and lowered, the Cymbalta, and I've noticed a lot of difference, especially hanging out with my family who knows me since birth. Unless they're not telling me that I'm adopted, although if you really look at us, we got kind of a similar thought process, and we look a little bit alike, similar. But I can say, I'm the shortest one, so yeah, I got switched at birth. Oh, that's funny. There was a time that I was like, I felt like I was switched at birth or adopted. I'm the wrong child. That was in my teen years. Um, but it was a phase. Such a phase. Um, the funny thing is, if I had lost my parents, when we were younger, I would probably be living with my siblings. Oh, poor thing. Oh, what was that show? Was it Mike and Molly? No, not Mike and Molly. What was that show? I'm gonna have to really think on that, but the sister in there, she's kind of annoying, lives at home with, her sister and her brother-in-law, really annoying. But it wasn't Mike and Molly. They had 3 kids, and I always, I'm like, yeah, that's my siblings and I. I'm gonna have to investigate on that. Good lordy, 2 hours goes by fast. But all in all, I think I'm doing much better. I feel less and less sensory, less blunt feeling, less like sensory. Yesterday, somebody scooted the chairs. A few months ago, that actually literally would have caused me to feel like a panic attack, seizure coming on, having me on the floor, you name it. But yesterday, somebody pulled out the chair, and I'm like, huh, I'm not going to have a seizure. I'm not going to have a panic attack because I'm having a seizure. More or less, it's like this tingly sensation, like I can feel my face twitch, and then I can feel my brain do its thing. No. Even like this is an example, months and months ago, if my niece and nephew, had a tantrum, wailing, crying, that would set me off. I think the dogs barking, as annoying as they are, they have been helping. I think the one bigger dog senses when I'm like needing deep pressure, and he'll do it regardless if I need it or not. But I think the deep pressure therapy that I get from him has been helping me with the PTSD, and it's amazing what dogs can do. So I think that's helping. I honestly don't think mental health talk therapy is because I feel like we're not, thank goodness, insurance is covering that, but has covered that. Yeah, I have had to pay for previous visits out of pocket. I just don't think it helps. I don't, and I've also said, this compartmentalized talk therapy called behavioral health, which gets me irked. I don't think it works. I don't think it works, because I think this help. Just talking to, you out there just works the best. I think this has helped me more than anything, just to talk to the world and kind of see your comments and, normalize it that way. Just like I said yesterday, that talking to a therapist individualized still suppresses the issue. Going to group therapy, a small group, talking about, yeah, it does kind of normalize, life. But yet again, it still suppresses, because you have to wait to do that. Whereas here, you can talk about anything, everything, see your comments, normalize it. but I'm not suppressing it. I'm talking to the world, literally. And kind of normalizing, because you could watch this later and make a comment and, oh, that's normal, or that's abnormal, or whatever. So I just think, for mental health, I'm kind of steering away from it and graduating and moving forward, because this whole story has changed my perspective. It's also made me realize that if I say something, the math ain't mathin', because you're only seeing, like I said, if you see a psychiatrist, once a month for a year, you're only seeing them for 90 minutes a year, if that. And then, hey, Yvonne, sorry, I'm kind of ranting and raving. You have a great day. I will see you on the next one. Thank you for your support, and just keep being you and keep moving, and maybe someday we will get together, because I know you're from this town. So, anywho, and then I also have family members. Maybe I need to take a trip out to see you and bug them. So that would be fun. Let's make it happen, because life is short and bittersweet. So, anywho, what was I going to say? So, I think, and then also I think, this also, I think the pandemic did a whole shit fit on, our mental health. I think this whole pandemic did more damage, in society. So, anywho, Flash fan, where are you? Probably taking a nap, busy doing something. Flash fan! He'll probably pop up. Oh, or eating, sleeping, busy, doing his thing. Anywho. So, I will see you guys on the next one. I think 2 hours is good to go. I will probably see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, I know. I'm doing this later and later. But I am like sleeping good. No night terrors. Although I did have maybe a smidge one about a family member. So I need to check in on them. But then it might be a door opening opportunity. So hopefully that will open doors for me. And maybe I'm ready for a new chapter. I don't know. That's the nice thing about this is it's not, a forever thing. I can change and do whatever I need to do, transform. That's the way I have the dragonfly tattoo to remind me transformation. Or as my favorite therapist would say, it's a new season. It's always a season. And that was the fun part about, going therapy is our role. It's like you say this every session, but maybe it's a good thing that we're doing the same thing, but then at the same time, I'm like, this is not cost effective. We're not moving forward. 2 steps back, 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. We're not getting anywhere. We need to so I hope my therapist will do more specialized therapy and kind of coax people to move forward. I think we were getting into kind of a plateau. I don't know. I don't even think it was a plateau. I think we're just I think I need to graduate and from it all and steer away from it all, and I don't know. But then I don't want to flare either. So, family members, dear family members, I need to move. I think I need to transition. I need a new start. I don't know. I am also applying to jobs in the state just to see if I can get anywhere with that, but it's not really working, which is fine. I would really like to move, I think I need to start fresh somewhere. But I want to be kind of closer to, I want to be kind of in the middle of family too, wherever I, just in case, but at the same time, I'm kind of scared to do that, especially with the 2 years and the trauma, and I think I am doing better. So we can talk about it more later in private. It's gonna happen in a few years anyways. If you catch my drift. Because I'm gonna need it to just need to do it. So alrighty, I'm like derailing and need to get going and do something else for a little bit. I think I'm gonna do squid. As far as painting, so get with me if you watch this later. Email me. I haven't seen an email in forever, so we will go from there. Alrighty, later. Bye. Have a great day if you watch this, and keep moving. Thank you for letting me rant for 2 hours. Love you guys. I love those. Love you guys. Love you, love you, love you.